Hi. Hi, good morning, I'm going to say. So this is Joycelyn Linton. Welcome to the show, coming into the higher calling. And today's date, you know, today's date is, let me see, I didn't really check out the date. Okay. Okay, so today is the 4th of May. Excuse the gap, folks. Excuse the gap here. That's what you call dead time. Oh yeah. So welcome to the show. I'm saying congratulations. I'm going to stay with that word. The word congratulations has just come from my word. So somebody or something or some event on the earth needs to be congratulated. So I'm saying congratulations. So this is a live and dynamic prophecy coming through. Today is the 4th of May, 2017. The time now is 0750 British Standard Time. So we've got the number 0405 2017. All right, so 0405. I'm hearing 2017, and the time is 0750. Flicked over to 51. So I've got the number 9. I've got 7 9 2017. I'm getting number 3 here, I'm getting the number 3 here. And then the 0750. 0750. I'm seeing the numbers 7, 9, 5, and 3. That's the numbers I'm seeing here. And I'm not going to give it a false or truth here. So I'm keeping on schedule today because I have to keep in schedule. So I want to continue the reading on the first book of Samuel, chapter 1, looking at Hannah's prayers. And the section that I wanted to look over on is verse 20, where it says, "Wherefore it came to pass when the time was come about after Hannah had conceived, that she bare a son, and called his name Samuel, saying, Because I have asked him of the Lord." Okay, and I wanted to flick over to chapter 2 here. And I'm looking at Hannah's prayer in chapter 2. But I'm not going to, we haven't reached to that section there. But I do want to just read the verse 10 of chapter 2. And it says here, "The adversary of the Lord shall be broken to pieces. Out of heaven shall he thunder upon them. The Lord shall judge the ends of the earth, and he shall give strength unto his king, and exalt the horn of his anointed." So now this kind of rounds up what I was saying earlier on about Hannah and the situation that she was in. I spoke about her husband, Elkanah, and it says here, "And he had 2 wives. The name of one was Hannah, and the name of the other Peninnah. And Peninnah had children, but Hannah had no children." Okay. And then it says, "And this man went up out of his city yearly to worship and to sacrifice unto the Lord of hosts in Shiloh." Okay. And the 2 sons of Eli, Hophni and Phinehas, the priest of the Lord, were there. And I was saying that there's a built-up of a storyline here. "And when the time was that Elkanah offered, he gave to Peninnah his wife, and to all her sons and her daughters portion. But unto Hannah he gave a worthy portion, for he loved Hannah, but the Lord had shut up her womb." So I'm just thinking now, because I've already know the story of Samuel, and I know chapter 2 and chapter 3. But it just makes me think here, and it says, "And the 2 sons of Eli," that's the priest, that who witnesses Hannah's prayers, and the priest is a mediator between I'm going to say man and God, or man and the Lord. So, and the two sons of Eli, that's the priest, Hophni and Phinehas, the priest of the Lord, were there. So, we'd have to steal across to the story to know the relevance of these two. But, as we go on to read on to Eli as she prays, because it says the Lord had shut up her womb, and her adversary also provoked her sore, for to make her fret, because the Lord had shut up her womb. And as he did so year by year, when she went up to the house of the Lord, so she provoked her. Therefore she wept and did not eat. Okay, and then so then if we go on to, so Hannah rose up after they had eaten in Shiloh, and after they had drank. Now Eli, the priest, sat upon a seat by a post of the temple of the Lord. So there's the introduction of Eli himself, the priest. And then it says that, and she was in bitterness of soul, and prayed unto the Lord, and wept sore. And she vowed a vow, and said, O Lord of hosts, if thou wilt indeed look on the affliction of thine handmaid, and remember me, and not forget thine handmaid, but will give unto thine handmaid a man child, then I will give him unto the Lord all the days of his life, and there shall no razor come upon his head. And it came to pass, as she continued praying before the Lord, that Eli marked her mouth. Okay. Now Hannah, she spoke in her heart, only her lips moved, but her voice was not heard. Therefore Eli thought she had been drunken, and Eli said unto her, How long wilt thou be drunken? Put away thy wine from thee. And Hannah answered and said, No, my Lord, I am a woman of a sorrowful spirit. I have drunk neither wine nor strong drink, but have poured out my soul before the Lord. Count not thine handmaid for a daughter of Belial, for out of the abundance of my complaint and grief have I spoken hitherto. Then Eli answered and said, Go in peace, and the God of Israel grant thee thy petition that thou hast asked of him. Okay. And she said, Let thine handmaid find grace in thy sight. So the woman went her way and did eat, and her countenance was no more sad. Okay. So it seems like the word of the Lord is coming through on not only are we looking at Hannah and what she said in the verse after that, wherefore it came to pass when the time was come about after Hannah had conceived, that she bare a son, and called his name Samuel, saying, Because I have asked him of the Lord. So I say this is a live and dynamic prophecy. I never know what I'm going to say until I begin to speak, though I may plan and have a preparation. But the moment I speak, I find that the Lord begins to flow words in me and ideas, and I go off in another direction, and I just realize to stay with it, because it's not me who's really talking to you. It's the Lord that's speaking to you through me. I am his vessel, and whatever the message he has for the moment, he will speak it. And we have to realize that we are on the schedule of the Lord, because the Lord has made two promises. Okay, he made the promises that we see in the Old Testament, and he's made a second promise which we are yet to experience in the New Testament. And yesterday I read through Deuteronomy 4, and the Lord spoke through the prophet Moses, saying that the people are to lean on his testimonies. He talked about the first covenant, the testimonies of the first covenant, and the testimonies of the second covenant. And I am giving a summary here. I'm not giving the precise verse. The precise verse here where it says so. But I'm seeing here in verse chapter 4, verse 26. I call heaven and earth to witness against you this day, that you shall soon utterly perish from off the land whereunto ye go over Jordan, and to possess it. You shall not prolong your days upon it, but shall utterly be destroyed. And the Lord shall scatter you among the nations, and you shall be left few in number among the heathens, whither the Lord shall lead you. And there ye shall serve gods, the work of men's hands, wood and stone, which neither see, nor hear, nor eat, nor smell. So that sounds like a word of warning here. And I read that yesterday. When thou shalt beget children, and ye shall have remained long in the land, you shall corrupt yourself and make a graven image or the likeness of anything, and shall do evil in the sight of the Lord thy God, to provoke him to anger. So this is a word of warning, saying that if you're and declare unto his covenant which he commanded you to perform, even 10 commandments. Yeah, basically I'm in another place, I'm not in my usual place, so I'm adjusting to the environment, and I have a time schedule to keep here. So I'm hearing here the theme that's coming up is witnessing. That's the theme that's coming up to me here, because my eyes goes on to chapter 4:10, and it says here, especially the day that thou stoodest before the Lord thy God in Horeb. So Moses speaks through to the Lord's chosen people, Israel. When the Lord said unto me, gather me the people together, and I will make them hear my words, that they may learn to fear me, and I say learn to love me, all the days that they shall live upon the earth. Because the Lord is of love, he's not of fear. But if we break his laws, I'm going to say we come into disobedience. And so because of disobedience, then there's commandments or laws of punishment. But the Lord is love all the time. Okay, so and I will make them hear my words, he says, that they may learn to love me all the days that they shall live upon the earth, and that they may teach their children. And you come near and stood under the mountain, and the mountain burnt with fire unto the midst of heaven, with darkness, cloud, and thick darkness. And the Lord spoke unto you out of the midst of the fire. You heard the voice of the words, but saw no similitude, only you heard a voice. And he declared unto you his covenant, which he commanded you to perform, even 10 commandments, and he wrote them upon 2 tablets of stone. And the Lord commanded me at the time to teach you statutes and judgments, that you might do them in the land whither you go over to possess it. Take ye therefore good heed unto yourselves, for ye saw no manner of similitude on the day that the Lord spake unto you in Horeb out of the midst of the fire, lest ye corrupt yourself and make you a graven image, the similitude of my figure, the likeness of male or female. Okay, so I won't go over that again as I did yesterday. But this is I'm gonna tell you this, folks. It's a complex message that's coming through. It's a complex message because I can read deeper into it. However, it's not the usual way of speaking the word of God to the majority of people. They're not used to that type of teaching. So many may decide to switch off and not be able to relate. However, the message is live in me, and it is a complex message. And I'll see how best I can go through it. I'm just going to pray for the presence of the Lord to be upon me. And Lord, I'm asking that you'll give me that succinct message and the message in due season to interpretate what's being said here. So the out of the readings I've taken, so this was Deuteronomy 4, chapter 4, and I read from 10